Hey, listen, I quit. Yeah, I'm going into stocks.
Name of the game. Move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket.
But if you can make your client's money at the same time, it's advantageous to everyone, correct?
No.
No one is paying attention.
It's unbelievable.
Have to act now.
God, this is intimate. I feel like I'm financially inside of you or something.
Okay.
I have 5 houses and a condo.
I'm considering going long on April wheat. What do you think, Valentine?
Alright, so hi guys, welcome again to the channel. For those of you who are new, this is where we talk about all things market profile. We cover everything. We cover volume, we cover market profile, we cover some of the best trading strategies you're ever going to see happen right here on this channel. I have a huge focus on liquidity trading. I have a huge focus on selling option premium. So all of the stuff that is going to get you succeeding is what we do here on the channel. But anyway guys, this video is not going to be about any of that stuff. Yes, I'm going to show you a couple of interesting things. I'm going to show you things that you can follow. But this video today is not going to be based on what we normally talk about. What I'm going to be talking about today is how do you start trading today, 2024? How do you get started? I get a lot of questions in the Discord server. By the way, I have a free Discord server where I give people free information, free education, so you guys know how to handle yourself in today's markets. You will also find that I have a free mentorship program right here on YouTube. So if you've been struggling with trading, thinking that, you know, the only way this is going to work for you is if you have to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds on, I don't know, what people spend their money on these days, whether it's indicators or, you know, something else. Well, that is not what you need to do. You need to check out the mentorship program. It's completely free, it's packed with stuff, and I'm pretty sure you're going to discover that you've been wasting your time.
Stop wasting time!
For like maybe the past couple of years for some of you, or if you're new to this, then you're absolutely in the right place. Anyway, I'm going to push on to what we're supposed to be talking about today, and that is how to start your trading career. Now, look, you don't need me to tell you this. There are so many charlatan, fraudulent, you name it, people out there who are going to take your money and they're not going to give you any value. You guys already know this is the case. So when you're thinking about coming into this business, the first thing you need to know is who is going to babysit you through this. And don't kid yourself. Now, you can DIY stuff, don't get me wrong. You can go out there and Google everything you want to know about trading, but let me tell you something, that won't be easy. You're going to fall into the hands of some very nefarious individuals if you go down this path.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
But I can't stop you. If you want to do this, then please do. You're going to find it incredibly difficult. So the first thing you need to know is who is going to babysit me through this entire process. You need someone. You need someone to babysit you because there's a lot to learn, right? Most people who are trying to help people find their feet in trading are not going to tell you that it's going to be really hard work, you're going to struggle, and it's just the way it is because you're learning a new skill, right? The idea is that when you're learning a new skill, you have to put lots and lots and lots of hours in to learning that skill. What some people want is to put 2 hours into learning and then be able to trade tomorrow and become a millionaire. That's the idea. But the truth of the matter is that is not going to work for you. And the reason that's not going to work for you is because nothing works that way. Tell me a single career that you can go into after learning for 2 months and even make a decent wage, right? It's not going to happen. So this is the most competitive space in the world, right? This is the most competitive arena in the world. And you think you're going to learn how to do this and you're going to be able to compete with the best in this business, people like me, in just 2 months? Well, I wish you well, but that's not going to happen. So, point I'm trying to make is that you need some seriously good mentorship from someone who has a very deep understanding in the market. That's step number one, right? So if you're going to get started, think about this first before you go open a brokerage account, a live account, and start sticking money in there and then punting it into the market. Then think about this bit first.
You see, that's what you have to do. You have to use your mind.
The second thing that you're going to need if you're going to start in this whole trading business in today's 2024, the first thing you're going to need, the second thing you're going to need is good software. You're going to need good platforms, good brokers, good software. So as a collective, you're going to need some really good technology. That goes without saying, guys. You need good tech. Now, if you're looking at my screen right now, right, you are looking at a market profile chart, right? It's called a time price opportunity chart, really. But for the sake of using what we tend to use these days in the public, we're going to call it market profile. And I say the public, but to be fair, very few traders even know what market profile is. But again, you're going to need stuff like this. You're going to need access to a TPO chart. You're going to need access to a level 2 dome, right? So order flow, you're going to have to be able to see that. And of course, you can use a basic candlestick chart, right? You're going to need access to that, right? That's okay. There's lots of platforms on the web that allow you to access this, and that's perfectly fine. But you're going to need a very good charting platform. You're going to need a very good broker that is top of their game, that can pretty much cover every asset class in the world. Because if you want to be a solid investor that makes alpha, or a solid trader that actually makes a profit, you need access to the best tools, because the people who make a profit have access to the best tools, right? And I get it, right? You guys are probably seeing all over YouTube, right? The point of this channel is to seriously debunk what some of these guys are saying, right? Because there's a lot of money in this business for influencers, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know 90% of the influencers out there. I don't even care to know them. I just don't have no interest in what they do. So when people come to me and say, oh, do you know this guy? No, I don't know him, because he's a nobody. At the end of the day, influencers only became influencers because a YouTube algorithm pushed them forward, right? That's the thing. And you latched onto them, and that was that. But you didn't really think about the information that they're giving you. You thought more about their popularity and what their marketers had to say about them. And this is a flaw. This is a fundamental flaw in today's marketing machine, well, as far as it relates to the person on the receiving end. However, that is why I always say this at the beginning of all my videos, is that, look, this is the channel where you come to avoid all of the BS.
No bullshit. Put the beep on it, however you want to do it. 5 seconds delay.
Right, if you don't want that stuff, you need to be here, because I don't hold back. I will tell you every single thing out there. This is a faceless, anonymous channel because I am hurting a lot of people, their business model, which is designed to scam you and take your money. I am here trying to destroy that.
Those monsters are going down.
So people are not going to like me. Brokers are not going to like me. I have an institutional background. Some of the people I used to work for and deal with, and I was part of this system, right? If they find out that I'm out here showing you stuff like I'm showing you now, it's not gonna go well for me, right? So the bottom line is that this industry is highly secretive. People can sue you over nothing at all. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I mean, you know, I've seen already some really high profile cases where other traders who've managed to succeed in their own right have been part of these, you know, these gambling ecosystems like prop firms and so on. And they found themselves fouled of a prop firm, and they found themselves with, you know, these little letters saying that they're going to go to court or some kind of gagging order. This is a tough business. And the people at the top of the chain, they can really cause problems for you. And that is why this channel's faceless. So I can confidently give you all the stuff that I've seen. It doesn't matter why I saw it, who I saw it from. I never give names, I never give places, but I can tell you. And that's important because you are going to get the real deal. So again, you need good technology, you need good brokers. Now I use Interactive Brokers, right? That's my broker. So I like them because they're solid, right? I have all the tools I need in order to do the business, right? So I use this broker. That's my guy, right? I can access everything in the world that I want to access. It doesn't matter if it's a stock in Chile or it's a bond in, you know, in Japan, or it's a, you know, some stock in Australia, or it's one of these obscure companies, these small caps. It could be a penny stock. It could be a gray sheet OTC. I have access to it. So I go with someone that I know is not some, I don't know, backorder broker, no offense guys, in Cyprus or something like that. I go with people who are legit.
Get it out. Shout at the rooftops. This is great. This is the bee's knees.
Right, so even if it's a CFD broker, right, even if it's a CFD broker, I go with some of the biggest, right, the biggest, because what I don't want is I don't want any excuses. Over my time, I've seen a lot of these guys go insolvent, and they go insolvent with your money. You know, I remember working with someone at the time when these things went insolvent. One of these outfits went insolvent in Cyprus. I won't say their name, but they were a pretty big one, and they went insolvent. And that poor guy spent years trying to get his money back. It sucks. It genuinely sucks. But these are the risks that you have to be aware of when you're coming in. So again, I reiterate, you need a good broker for sure. Hands down, you need someone with good tech that is going to give you access, not just a tiny access, but access to what you really need to succeed. Point in case. Again, last but not least, I should say. Well, it's not even last. I mean, it's just, you know, just one of the other things that you probably need to know. I mean, not say last. I'm not going to do that. You're also going to need to understand market mechanics. Let's pause for a second. I'm going to give you an example. Right, now I have 3, give or take 2 or 3 rules when I come in to assess any market, right? Especially when you're dealing with a leveraged asset, right? There are a couple of things you got to observe. First and foremost, you got to think about where the liquidity is, right? So we talk about liquidity trading. I have other videos on this, so check out some of the videos I've done on the channel that cover liquidity trading in depth. Right, and it's called liquidity trading today, but in reality, one point it was called stop hunting, and another point it was really just market making. That's really all it is. And again, I focus a lot on understanding where the liquidity is. So for example, you can see my TPO chart open. At the bottom here, we have what we call a bid stack, right? Where generally the price action has remained restricted and has consolidated over time. And that's usually a sign of accumulation or distribution of some kind. So we call it a bid stack. And this directly relates to the central order book, where bids are stacked, passive orders, and those become areas of support. Or offers are stacked, passive orders, and those become areas of resistance. Right, so you can see bid stacks here. You can see offer stacks here, where there's consolidation, and you can see minus development, and you can see another big offer stack up here. right? So that is liquidity, right? And don't believe what I'm saying. What happened when we traded into the bid stack, we rebounded because there's liquidity, right? So those passive orders that we found down there, they triggered and away we go. But I can't show you this on the TPO chart. You need a dome to see where the passive orders are stacked, right? So you can see if those orders are going to hold up. You can actually see that. Most people don't know that they can see that, but they're trading Forex or they're trading commodity futures, but they're doing it on just a basic candlestick chart and they're drawing lines, and that's all good. But if you want to succeed, you need to be able to go that one step further. All right, here we can see we traded up in I period, right? We hit a liquidity zone and then we backed up a little bit. What did I say to traders? It's 7 o'clock in the evening. Do you want to be putting on a position short at 7 o'clock in the evening? It is not a major session. So volatility is going to die down. You're going to get information that is not very useful to you because there's not enough, volume in the market because everyone's gone to sleep. It's 7 p.m. Europe, it's 7 p.m. London, sorry. So everyone's asleep. And that means for +1, +2 time zones, GMT, the European traders, they're probably snoring. The truth of the matter is that no one's interested in trading at 7 o'clock unless you're a degen. And if you're a degen, you got to take a step back.
Have you ever thought about me just taking a step back and trying something else?
Right, you really have to take a step back. If you're trading at 7 p.m. at night, then something's gonna miss. Right, so I say to guys that, look, you don't want to be putting trades on, for one, outside of major sessions, which means that you're not going to get into trouble, right? So because you can see all the big market moves. Take that one there, 1 p.m. New York. Take that one there, Chicago, 3 p.m. Chicago Open. And then, of course, we have a few moves in the European session. Now, I'm not a huge fan of telling traders trade the European session. And there's a reason for that. Is because we have the most liquid session in the world opening in New York, Chicago, NASDAQ. Why the hell are you putting on trades in Europe if you don't have insider information?
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason? What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
Right, and by the way, insider information is legal in Forex. So if you don't have that, right, why are you putting trades on? Right, explains why you're losing money. Is because there's nothing but low volume, lots of volatility, market goes nowhere till we open New York, Chicago, right? Occasionally you're going to see a big move in Europe. I'm not saying that there will be no market moves, but you're never going to be able to catch them, right? So if you take, for example, the move that took place, this was 6 a.m. in the morning, and then 7 a.m. we had a big move in just close to the start of the London Open. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm certainly not awake at 6 a.m. trying to do trades. That makes no sense to me. Of course, if you work in an institution, you might go in early, covering a desk, but you're certainly not putting trades on at 6 a.m. in the morning, right? Anybody who tells you this, just tell them it's a bunch of BS and they should go, I don't know, jump off somewhere.
Go f*** yourself!
Right? The reality of it is that this is not going to be the case, right? Most trades are going to come at 8 a.m. London, which is pretty much the London European session. And you're never going to be able to catch those adequately unless there's maybe major news. And you've got to remember that in the UK, for example, we get a lot of these weird data points coming out by 8:30. Right? There are no data points coming out at 6 a.m. in the morning. So even the algorithms can't really move the markets around about those times because there's just nothing there. Now, when you think about the US session, on the other hand, now we're talking, right? Because you got 3 major center opens. You got the American population. There are 300 million people plus in the United States, right? 300 million people plus. Everybody in the Pacific is going to be waiting for the US Open, right? Because they know it doesn't even make sense for them to be trading the Asia Open. In some of these CFD brokers, the spreads are too wide, right? The reality of it is that no one is going to get involved at those times. The major indices, they trade on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, right? So those are going to open, and they have, some of these things have like pit sessions. The agricultural commodities open in Chicago, that's sort of about that 8:15, right? For most of them, 8 a.m., 8:15. right? And Central Time. And so the market is kicking off at 3 p.m. UK time, right? And for the stock trading guys, they're looking to put their trades around about sort of 4 p.m. London time, because that's their golden hour. So most of the time you get the most of the volume gets done at the open, which is NASDAQ, and then people are waiting for those pullbacks into sort of the sort of later morning in the US, and that's when they whip it, right? And then if the stocks are going to rally, they're going to rally out of those times, right? It's called the golden hour. And if this is the case, most of the volume is going to trade in the US. So tell me the risk that you're going to be under if you start putting trades in Europe and then trying to hold them into a major US session.
You're dead meat, Pilgrim.
There's a ton of big news that comes out, especially if you're a Forex trader, NFP. There's so much stuff that could happen, right? So you want to stay away from that. Don't want to be putting trades on before the US session. So guys, I'm bringing this all up now because I wanted to talk primarily about how do you get into trading? How do you start today? And these are the things that you need to be thinking of. And if you're not thinking about them, then you're going to probably have a rough start, and it's going to set the tone for what your trading is going to be like 3-4 years down the line, right? It's because of the way you start. So most people who are struggling, it's the way they start. Don't be in a hurry to go sign up with a prop firm, pay them, I don't know, $500, $1,000, get these demo accounts, trade them, flip them, and then try and get funded to try and flip them again, trying to be 1,000 a week type trader or 20,000. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not going to happen for you. If you're a very experienced trader and you know what you're doing, then that might be a path for you. But I can guarantee you, most of these firms will shut you down when they discover that you're the guy who wants to clean them out.
I'm sorry, Earth is closed today.
Right? There's going to be this kind of externality because these people are only extending you leverage. They're not really doing anything like that, and they're taking your money. You're literally paying for leverage when you can get it free from a broker, for example. You can get leverage for free. I mean, you know, if you really are confident in yourself, then deposit your $500 and $1,000 and try and flip it. If you flip it, you actually got cash, and if you want to take that cash and go pay a prop firm for more leverage, then that's your business. But if you can keep flipping accounts for the rest of your journey, then why put that into a prop firm which requires almost a double flip before you get any hope of seeing any money? Look, a lot of people are not going to be happy that I'm saying this, but it's just the obvious reality. In any case, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. To my next video. Adios.
Hey, listen, I quit. Yeah, I'm going into stocks.
Name of the game. Move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket.
But if you can make your clients money at the same time, it's advantageous to everyone, correct?
No one is paying attention.
It's unbelievable.
Have to act now.
God, this is intimate. I feel like I'm financially inside of you or something.
Okay.
I have 5 houses and a condo.
I'm considering going long on April week. What do you think, Valentine?
Ha 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 ha!